So I've been using this laptop for quite some time now. It's about 9 years old, and let's just say, that's an old laptop. And you might be thinking to yourself, so he edits these videos on this laptop? No, before you guys get all confused, I have a computer separately for that, but it doesn't have a GPU. But anyways, this video isn't about that computer, it's about this laptop. And let's get right into it. First, let's go over some of the specs on this laptop. It's rocking an Intel Core i5 337U running at 1.8 GHz. Has a total of 4 GB of RAM. It is upgradable to 8 or more. It used to have a hard drive, but I switched out with an SSD to make it run a little bit faster. So now it has a SSD in it with only 256 GB, so a little rough on the storage space, but let's just say it runs a lot faster off the SSD. For the operating system, it was first installed with Windows 8. Then when Windows 10 came out, I upgraded to Windows 10. And if you notice, it's running Windows 11 right now. Now, I actually came across this accidentally before I seen all the other leaks about how to upgrade your non-compatible Windows 10 to Windows 11. I was making a video on how to create a Linux USB and how to install it on your computer, and I installed it on my laptop because I didn't want to install it on my PC. And I went to go grab my Windows 10 USB to reinstall Windows 10 on my laptop. Next, I grabbed the Windows 11, and I didn't even notice until it asked me which version of Windows I had. And all the options it was giving me was 11, and so I was like, why not try it? What's the worst that could happen? I mean, Linux is already installed on it, I want to put Windows on it. Let's just test it out and see how Windows 11 runs. And it actually ran a little bit faster, surprisingly. My only complaint with the trackpad is how noisy it is. It gets pretty noisy when you click on it, especially after a few times. It can get kind of annoying, but I guess you kind of just get used to it after a while. Then for the keyboard, I honestly love this keyboard, but you can tell it's been through some stuff. It's had a pretty rough life. Then for I/O on the left side, I get a charging port, one HDMI port, one Ethernet port, 3 USB Type 2 ports, and a headphone jack. The headphone jack. It's always nice to have one of those. On the front, I get a SD card slot. Then on the right side, I get a single USB 2.0 port and a CD-ROM. I mean, I don't really use the CD-ROM much, but it's nice having all of these USB 2.0 ports on the laptop. It makes life a lot easier and not need as much dongle. For display, I get a 15.6-inch LED display with a resolution of 1366 by 768, and it's running off Intel HD graphics. The battery life of this laptop lasts me around 8 hours on a full charge, and only takes around 3 hours to juice it up all the way from it being at 0. The specs of this laptop aren't terrible, but they aren't great either. So what are benchmarks like then? Well, in Geekbench I got a single core performance score of 557, a multi-core performance score of 1157. For Cinebench, I got a single core test at 503. Then the multi-core test, it came in at 1167. For my last test, I did a CPU Z test, which for a single thread test, it got 234.1. Then for the multi-thread test score, it got 628.9. So in conclusion, a 9-year-old laptop really isn't worth it unless just browsing the web, typing up some documents, or just writing a script for your YouTube channel. But I do recommend, if you have one laying around and it's just collecting some dust, maybe try grabbing a USB, throwing some Linux on it, install Linux on that laptop, which you can check out my video on how to do up in the top right hand side. And you can get a little bit more out of your laptop, make it run a little bit smoother. And if you're trying to use it for gaming, yeah, please just don't use it for gaming. I assume you already know this, but don't even try. I mean, unless you're making a YouTube video of if it's worth it or not, then go ahead. I mean, comment it down below and I'll check out your YouTube video. Anyways, guys, I think that's it for today's video. If you guys like this video, you know what to do. Give it a huge thumbs up, get subscribed down below, turn on the bell notification icon so you can see when I upload my next video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.